Let's look at our inverting equations hack now. In the SAT test, you'll at least have 2 questions of this type. Now, in this question, the distance d is expressed in terms of the time t. And the question is asking you now to invert the equation where the variable t, time, is expressed in terms of the distance d. Now, usually to solve this problem, you will use cross multiplication or some other type of multiplication, and it'll take you a lot of effort. But here's how you do it real quick. You're going to set the time variable to be equal to 0. So if you have time to be equal to 0, this cancels out, and you're just left with 10 over 5, which is equal to 2. Now you're going to substitute t is equal to 0 in each of these choices and d is equal to 2 in each of the right-hand side of the choices and see which of these choices check out. So let's start with the first one. On the left-hand side, we've got 0. And on the right-hand side, we've got 10 minus 5d. Remember, we're going to use d2. So 10 minus 5 times 2, which is 10 minus 10, which is 0, divided by d minus 1, and that's 2 minus 1, which is 1. And so this right-hand side is also equal to 0, because 0 divided by any number is equal to 0. So the left-hand side and the right-hand side values tie out. So this is a possible answer. Let's move on to the next choice. Remember, the left-hand side of all these answer choices is equal to 0 by our choice. And so all we got to check now is if the right-hand side of each of the choices is equal. So let's do it real quick. 10 plus 5d is going to be 10 plus 5 times 2, because d is again equal to 2, which is going to be 10 plus 10, which is 20, divided by 3. So that's 20 over 3, and that's clearly not equal to 0. So we can cancel out this answer choice. Next one is 5d, which is 5 times 2, which is 10. So you got 10 in the numerator, and you've got 2 minus 1, which is 1 in the denominator. So you got 10 over 1, which is 10. And so even this doesn't tie out to be equal to 0. And similarly, you can check that the last one as well is just 10 over 1. And so this goes away. And thus, this is our correct answer. To summarize, you've got d expressed as a function of t. And now the question is asking you to express t as a function of d. And whenever they ask you to do this, remember to put in the right side variable to be equal to 0. You can also put it to be equal to 1 or 2 if you wish, and do this exact exercise to correctly guess the answer. Now you try this problem exactly the same way. The hint here is again to take the variable on the right-hand side and set it to be equal to 0, and then find out the value of this variable on the left-hand side, and then see how these choices check out. I'll wait here for a few seconds. Hopefully you were able to solve this problem. Let's look at it real quick. When you set t equal to 0 over here, all of these values go to 0, and so you've got 28 over 7, which gives us the value of 4. And now all you've got to check here, the left-hand sides are all zeros, and so you want to find out that answer choice which is equal to 0. 28 minus 7d, and remember d is 4 according to our special hack here. So you're just going to put in here 28 minus 7 times 4, which is 28 minus 28, which is 0, divided by 3, and so that is 0. So this one definitely checks out. About this one, 28 plus 7d, 28 plus 7 times 4 is a positive number, so this one is gone. Similarly, 7 times d is 28, so this is gone, and similarly this as well is just 7. And so A is your correct answer.